What's going on, y'all? Welcome to this month's State of the Bay. This is where we break down everything that's going on inside of the Mobile Bay and surrounding areas from month to month. We got a lot of stuff to unpack this month as far as what the trout are doing, what the redfish are doing, and then the tips and tactics to catch those fish. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and talk about a few sponsors that we have here on the channel. The first one is Hammerhead Kayaks over in Theodore, Alabama. Be sure to check out Hammerhead Kayak for all of your kayak fishing needs. They also have a bunch of accessories, so if you're looking to outfit your kayak, head over there, check him out. They also have utility trailers, so if you're looking for a new trailer to haul your ATV or for whatever you may need one for, check them out. They got utility trailers, kayaks, kayak fishing accessories. Awesome people to work with. I've used them for years. Check them out. Next up is Cedar Swamp over in Goshen, Mississippi. I've been using Cedar Swamp for years for all of my fishing tackle needs. They carry all sorts of mirror lures, soft plastics, terminal tackle. Basically, anything you need fishing related, they got it. They carry all sorts of rod and reels, apparel, and they also have a reel cleaning service on hand. So if y'all are looking to get your reels cleaned and serviced, head over there, check Rocky Brooks out at Cedar Swamp, and they will take care of everything y'all need. All right, so lastly, on all of that, if y'all do visit these two shops, be sure to let them know that Southern Salt sent y'all over there. It helps me out tremendously with letting them know that that's where their traffic is coming from. But both of those sponsors are people that I personally know, and I've used them for years, and there's a reason that I continue going to those places, and I assure y'all that you will not be disappointed with your experiences at both of those shops. All right, so getting into it, the events. We have Spanking the Specs, which is November 20th. It is a kayak fishing only event, so if you're in a boat, sorry, but it is, I believe it's a 3 trout stringer event held by Everything Kayaks over in Gulfport, Mississippi. They put this tournament on every year. It is November 20th, and it is a 3 trout stringer tournament. So one that I look forward to every year. Unfortunately, I'm not able to fish that event this year because I have my Angler of the Year tournament coming up on the same date. Which is out of Bon Secours. So I'm looking forward to that, but will not be fishing Spanking the Specs. If y'all are looking for a tournament this month and you kayak fish, Spanking the Specs, November 20th. Getting into the patterns and kind of what we got going on with the fish right now. So your trout are definitely moving north. There have been a lot of reports of trout showing up in Dog River, Foul River, and their Gaylord Island right now is getting pretty hot. So a lot of things going on with the trout. We just had a really severe cold front move through, dropped our temperatures down to around 52. But what you really want to do right now is keep an eye on the water temperature. You can very easily just Google what the water temperature is in Mobile Bay, and I believe NOAA has a little link right there to be able to show y'all what we got going on with the water temperature. But what you're looking for is for that water temperature to drop below 65. When that water temperature drops below 65, you're going to see your trout moving deeper into your rivers like Foul River, Dog River, Fly Creek, Bon Secours. All those areas are going to get it's basically dependent on that water temperature. That water temperature, if it's hovering around 65 or above, those trout are going to be stacked closer towards the mouth of those rivers. And as that water temperature drops, they'll move deep. November is kind of that transitioning period to where the trout are constantly moving in and out of the rivers. As that water temperature drops, they're going to look for warmth and they're going to hang out around the mud flats in the rivers. As that water temperature rises, they're going to head out towards the mouth to get more salt water. So it's kind of one of that thing where they're searching for that comfort level. As they get cold, they're going to evade salt to look for warmth, and as they get warm, they're going to evade the warmth to go get salt. So it's kind of they're moving back and forth. A good spot right now, and really for the entire month of November, is going to be kind of mid to North Mobile Bay, Gaylord Island, the mouths of the rivers, areas like that are where you're going to want to catch your trout this month. And then also, so your redfish, you got inside your marsh systems and your creeks, you got your shrimp that are really loading your marsh systems right now. They're moving deep. Your crabs are kind of pushing up deep too. All your bait fish are going deep up into these creeks, and your redfish are following them. In your kind of your summer months, your back of these creeks start to lose a lot of their oxygen because that water becomes stagnant. You've seen it. You see all the kind of algae blooms and bubbles and things like that kind of happen in the back of these creeks. Well, as it gets cold, right, that algae begins to die a little bit, and there's more oxygen that's in the back of these creeks. The bait pushes back there, and these redfish follow them. So once again, we want to keep an eye on that water temperature. If you're not seeing the number of redfish out in the main channels and mouths of these creeks, push up deeper into these creeks, and you will find the redfish. Kind of one of those deals where they're just going to follow the bait. So if you're in a marsh system and you're seeing the bait, chances are the redfish are not far from them. But once again, pushing deep up into those creeks will probably produce a lot of redfish for y'all in the month of November. And one of my favorite things to do in the month of November is fish lights, especially the lights that line the bay, also the lights up in the rivers. The gar kind of pull off of them a little bit as those water temperatures drop. You start to see less alligator gar, which is not something you want to see on the lights. If I'm seeing alligator gar on lights, I'm leaving because they're there and they're eating all the bait, and the redfish and trout are not going to hang out with the gar. So you start to see a lesser gar population on the lights, and the redfish really start to take over in these cooler months. So something that y'all can do if y'all are having a hard time getting on fish during the day, plan your trips around the lights at night. Go out there, and you're sure to load the boat pretty fast. I've done a couple of trips this month already, and the redfish are already just loaded up, especially around Doll River. The few lights in Foul River are pretty good, and then Point Clear has been really, really good with lights right now. So got that going on. One of my new favorite lures to target these fish on the lights is the clickbait shrimp by Bugs Fishing. If y'all have not tried that lure, check it out. It is a shrimp imitation, but it also imitates smaller bait fish like glass minnows and things like that. But it's a pretty light lure. It's still, you can still cast it a good ways, but it's a light lure. It's not very dense, so it has a slow descent, and you're able to throw it into those lights and keep it up a lot longer. It's not so like if you're putting something like a swim bait or something like that, or a jig out there. Quarter ounce, even an eighth ounce is sinking down pretty quick, and you're having to retrieve it a little bit faster to get that lure up, which is what you want. When you're fishing lights, those fish are down and they're looking up into the light, right? And as soon as they see that silhouette or that bait moving through there, that's when they're going to eat it. So you don't necessarily want your bait low in the water column. Well, that clickbait shrimp, you throw it out there, it stays up pretty good. You can just easily retrieve it, or you can give it a jerk pause. But I've caught a few redfish on it, and I'm really impressed with that lure right now. So if y'all want to know more about that lure, I'll place it down in the description. But be sure to head over there, check them out, and that lure has been really, really good for me lately. But that's pretty much it, y'all. That's what the fish are doing this month. I hope y'all get out there, smash the fish. If this stuff is helpful to y'all, share the video around. Let people know what we got going on here. Every month we're going to do another forecast for the month, letting y'all know where the fish are at and then the best ways to catch those fish. If y'all have any questions, be sure to comment on here. I'll answer them for y'all, and I will see y'all next time.